By making digital products that sell as you sleep, you can start to build a recurring income that can scale almost infinitely. That's the difference between a client project that gets you $5,000 or a product that gets you $50 but can be sold again and again and again. Now, when I started building online products, which was first posters and then CV templates, nothing really sold that well. But now that I've been building Webflow templates for about 8 months, I've had interesting but varied results. So today I'm going to break down becoming a Webflow template designer, how much time it takes to make a template, how much money you can make, and whether or not it's worth it. And if you're already a Webflow template designer, let me know in the comments whether your experience is similar to mine, because these are just my numbers and my thoughts, but mileage may vary. So let's jump right in. So I'm going to start off with the math on time and profit with building Webflow templates. So when you first build your first template, you're essentially working at $0 an hour since you don't know how much money you're going to make until you release it. And since I was going through the process for the first time, the first template was both the one that took me the most time to make and also had the most revisions to be done until it could be released. So that means for that first month, based on the amount of time that I put into it and the amount of money that I got out of it, it generated $22 an hour. Now that's pretty low, but since it's recurring income, that means if I leave it, it's going to keep generating income and going to slowly increase the hourly rate. And so I thought if one template could get me $1,000 a month, then 10 templates would get me $10,000 a month, but it definitely hasn't scaled that way. So I'm currently at 15 templates right now, and the monthly income from it is about $3,500 a month, which means that the growth is not exponential or even linear, it's more or less linear with a dip. So from what I've found, each time you build and release a template, there will be an initial surge of sales, and then it will dip off to being only a couple of sales a month, which means the name of the game for Webflow templates is volume. If I were to stop making templates and just lived off the ones that I already have, I can probably expect the revenue from it to cap at about $2,000 to $3,000 because commissions from templates go from 80% of sales to 60% of sales if you don't create a template each month. And creating and submitting a template every month isn't too difficult, but it's good to keep in mind that when you create a whole bunch and then stop for months on end, your sales from your templates won't stay consistent. So the time that it takes to create each template varies for me, but I'll usually put aside at least 40 hours a month to work on a new template, and if I finish one quicker than that, then I'll just start on the next one. Now, as a Webflow template designer, you aren't given specific stats and charts on your templates on what you're making month versus month, so I've had to make my own. So in Notion, I've charted my sales for each month and also the amount of templates that I have in total. This way I can keep track and also forecast how much I might make months down the line. So based on my current numbers, I'm making about $200 a month per template plus $800 from the sales when a new one is initially released. Now, since overall I've made about $18,000 in 8 months and on average it takes me about 30 to 40 hours to make a template, that means my current calculated hourly rate for all of my templates is actually $35 an hour. So even though having a source of recurring income is great, it doesn't actually come close to exceeding my hourly rate for client work. But the positive is that I could stop working on templates and that hourly rate would slowly increase over time without having to do anything. In terms of what makes a template more or less successful, I've found that when a template is done simplistic but unique, it sells the best. Building complex templates makes it too difficult for customers to adjust, so building ones that are visually intriguing but still easy to edit and customize are the ones that have sold best for me. Now, if you want to become a Webflow template designer, then I'll add a link to the application page in the description below. But you'll want to have a couple of good Webflow projects ready and also your website portfolio ready. For the Webflow projects, you'll be sending read-only links. So you want to make sure that the structure and naming conventions are easy to understand and not too messy, because when you submit templates, you want it to be in the easiest format for customers who want to buy the template to use. You can actually preview any template inside the Webflow designer, which will give you a good idea on the kind of class structure you want to use if you build your own templates. Then when you've actually got into the program and started to make Webflow templates, the submission process is super straightforward, and the team who manage Webflow templates are always a great help throughout the process if there's any updates to be made. As a template designer, you also have to provide support for your templates for customers who need help, but I've found the amount of support inquiries from customers is pretty low. So depending on how complex your templates are, you won't have to worry too much about this. If anything, customers might contact you to do paid template customization or just reach out to give feedback, which has been super helpful for me to improve future templates. So is making Webflow templates worth it? Well, if you keep in mind that some templates will do better than others, and most of what you make from a template comes from when you first release it, then it may be worth it for you. Just keep in mind that you won't be making the same amount as you will be making from client projects, but recurring income is a fundamentally different type of income. The biggest question to ask yourself is, do you enjoy making your own designs and websites? Because you'll be able to do this without any client input. which means it's all on you, because you'll be given complete creative freedom, which might be a positive or a negative depending on how much freedom you do like with your work. So let me know if you have any other questions about Webflow templates in the comments below. Or if you're a Webflow template designer, then let me know if your experience has been same or if it's been quite different. If you have any recommendations for future videos, feel free to pop those in the comments too. Otherwise, thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, feel free to leave a like or subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll see you on the next one.